Hey everybody, Bobby is Yoda here, and welcome to week 9. Yeah, 9 of my NFL picks. Last week we went 7 and 7, and the week before that we went 7 and 7. You can see the results right here on your screen. I didn't get much sleep last night because last night was the election and I was up till 2:30 in the morning. But you know what? That was yesterday, and today is NFL Picks Day. So we are going to go ahead and get ourselves going right now. This week, we are going to be using a spreadsheet, and we're going to do something really, really simple. Like I said, because of the fact I didn't get much sleep last night, I want to get this something very, very easy. So, what better to do for a randomizer than none other than a random number generator, which thankfully we can do in our spreadsheets. I'll do this as an example. All you got to do is type in the word equals and then R-A-N-D, enter, enter. Boom. We have ourselves a random number up there. And if we do it again, equals. Bam. And what it does is it actually re-randomizes both numbers. So even though I do the first number, I can do it again. And the way I'm going to do it is very simple. Whichever number is higher, that's the winner. As easy as that. So I will go ahead and delete the data that we have here. So the first game up that we have is the Green Bay Packers at the San Francisco 49ers. Now, Green Bay got embarrassed last week when they were defeated by Minnesota. And whenever I see a team that's really good that gets embarrassed like that, I tend to think that they will probably go on to bounce back. We've seen that before. We've seen it not work, but more often than not, I'm going to go with it. So what I'm going to do, sorry about bumping my mic right there, equals rand. And if I actually just go ahead and scroll it down after selecting it, boom, there we go. Random number generator is going with the Green Bay Packers over the San Francisco 49ers. What's also cool about this is I have everything blacked out, so all I have to do is bam! I bumped my microphone again. How dare me? There we go. Look at that. It's all ready for us to go. And next up, we have the Denver Broncos at the Atlanta Falcons. Both of these teams not doing so well this year, but only one of them is really, really terrible, and that's the Atlanta Falcons. So just because of that fact alone, I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos. So if we go ahead and go over here, equals rand. And we will go ahead and grab it and bring it down. Now, as you can see, it's re-switching off the numbers from the past for like that Green Bay San Francisco game. That doesn't matter because I've already made my picks for that, and it's already made its pick. But you know what? Going with what it just decided for this game, it appears that it is going to go with the Atlanta Falcons over the Denver Broncos. So if we go ahead and unhide that. Our next game up is the Seattle Seahawks at the Buffalo Bills. Both teams have 6 wins. Seattle, 1 penalty away from going undefeated, but that's neither here nor there. But we have Seattle versus Buffalo today, or this week, I should say. And I'm going to go ahead and go with Seattle because they are the better team. Their defense is kind of weak, but Buffalo, they're actually a pretty good team. I suspect that they will win their division probably pretty easily at this point, but I still think that Seattle's a better team. So we're going to go ahead and see what this random number generator has to do. And it has gone with the Seattle Seahawks as well, going with my pick, wanting them to win this game. All right, and the next game is the Chicago Bears at the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans started off 5-0. They've now lost a couple in a row. But the Chicago Bears are 5-3, but they're very iffy as of right now. The Chicago Bears, they lost last week to the New Orleans Saints in overtime. Not a good look for them. I'm going to go ahead and go with Tennessee. I think that they will start to do a little bit better after dropping a couple games. Plus, they are at home, so of course that's going to probably make me favor them in this game. Let's see what this random number decides to do. Equals rand, and pulling this down, boom! It's going to go with the Chicago Bears over the Tennessee Titans. All right, and the next game that we have is the Baltimore Ravens at the Indianapolis Colts. Both of these teams have an identical record of 5-2. So, what do we do when we have two teams that are both pretty good? I normally decide to go with the home team in that case. And Baltimore is a really good team, But they've been kind of iffy this year as well. And I expected them to do a lot better, not going to lie. But in this particular game, I think Indianapolis is kind of on a hot streak right now. I see that trend continuing. Let's go ahead and equals Rand. Boom, boom. Oh my goodness, that was weird. And we will pull this down. And it appears that it is going to also go with my pick and choose the Indianapolis Colts. All right, and the next game we have is the Carolina Panthers at the Kansas City Chiefs. All I have to say is the Chiefs are at home. I'm picking the Chiefs. Equals Rand. And it is going to pick the Kansas City Chiefs as well. All right, and the next game is the Detroit Lions at the Minnesota Vikings. As I said, the Minnesota Vikings, they beat Green Bay last week. Very shocking and unsurprising. No, not unsurprising, but very shocking and surprising victory for them. So, the fact that they're at home with that momentum going, even though they have the worst record in this game, why not go ahead and pick them? I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings. Let's equals Rand this boy right here and pull it down. And it appears that the random number generator is also going to go with the Minnesota Vikings. All right, and next up we have what many would call a tanking team versus another tanking team. We have the New York Giants at the Washington football team. Combined record of 3-12, not very good at all. And even though the New York Giants came kind of close to beating Tampa Bay last week, that's kind of a demoralizing loss when you almost won, but you didn't, even though you were the underdog in that game. So I'm going to actually go ahead and pick the Washington football team. I haven't picked them very often. I mean, if you look at their record, you can probably see why. But I'm going to go ahead and go with the Washington football team. They are at home. Let's do this. Equals Rand. Boom, boom, and drag this down. And it appears that it is also going to go with my pick, the Washington football team. All right, and the next game that we have is the Houston Texans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, again, two teams that really kind of suck this year. But you know, Houston, even though they do suck, I see them as the slightly less sucky team. I would normally go in a game like this where both teams are 1-6. I would normally go with the home team. But in this game, I'm going to let my bias show. I'm going to go with Houston. I think that they are the slightly better team this year than Jacksonville is. I don't know. There's just something about it that makes me feel that way. So I'm going to go ahead and equals Rand. Boom, boom. Drag it down. And wow. Again, it's going to go with my pick. Or I should say, it's going to go with the home team going against my pick, picking the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, and next up we have the Las Vegas Raiders at the Los Angeles Chargers. This actually is kind of a pretty easy pick for me. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Las Vegas Raiders. They do have a couple of good wins, and they did they win last week? I forget if they win last week. Doesn't matter to me because I'm going to go ahead and go with them, predicting them to win this week. If we equals Rand and we pull this down, we can see that the random number generator has decided to go with my pick and choose the Las Vegas Raiders as well. All right, and now we have, last week when I was rolling the dice and I had the Jets and the Chiefs, and the dice decided to go against my pick of the Chiefs and go with the Jets. I thought that was so funny. But this time, if this decides to go with the other team that I'm not going to pick, I really don't know what to say. Maybe these things just are destined to pick the worst team against the really, really good teams. This game is the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys really, really suck this year, whereas Pittsburgh's actually doing very, very well. This game should be a blowout, but we will see if the random number generator decides to go with my pick. And it is deciding to go, it is deciding to go against my pick. Why? I don't know. But it's going with the Dallas Cowboys. Looks like that's going to be an L for the random number generator. All right, and the next game we have is the Miami Dolphins at the Arizona Cardinals. Now, Miami actually has a winning record this year. And last week they had Tua play his first game, and kind of okay. But there's still a lot to be seen and a lot to be decided from Tua. I'm going to go ahead and go with the home team, Arizona Cardinals, in this game just because they are the slightly better team this year. Tua still is working in development. They're still trying to figure out how to use him, versus Arizona actually knows how to play the game, and the random number generator is going to go with, it's actually going to pick the Miami Dolphins to win their second game in a row. All right, now we are up to the Sunday night football game, which this game I think is going to be freaking awesome. It is the New Orleans Saints at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is a rematch from earlier this year, and a lot of people say they think Tampa Bay is the best team in the NFC right now. I personally happen to agree with that. They are at home. New Orleans has, like I said, they beat the Bears last week in overtime, barely, by kicking a field goal. Doesn't really give me much confidence. But then again, Tampa Bay almost lost to the Giants, and the Giants suck. So I'm just going to go ahead and go with the home team, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in this game. I think that, as I say every single week, Brady is trying to send a message that this is his division now, and Drew Brees can goodbye. So we're going to equals ram this and drag it down, which means that the random number generator is going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as well. All right, folks, we are up to our final game. We are at the Monday Night Football game, the New England Patriots at the New York Jets. Even though the Patriots not doing very good, they are against the Jets. I'm predicting the Jets to go 0-16. If they happen to win, that would be very, very unfortunate. It seems like going against the Jets is always an easy pick this year. Sorry, Jets fans, if you're even existing. Random number generator is deciding to go with, good pick, the New England Patriots. So, ladies and gentlemen, watching this video, that is my picks for this week. You can see the results of my picks right here on the screen. And I hope everybody has a really good week. If you want to see how well I do this week, as I say, watch the games or go ahead and tune in next Thursday when I release my picks for week 10. This has been Bobby Is Yoda, signing off.